You ready to do this, bro?
Yeah, let's do this, bro.
Things actually got a little reversed, scheduling-wise. It was going to be the Brian, Sarah, and Dave edition of the worst movies, and then Jake and I were going to do it when I got back from DC, but fuck it, we're going to do it now.
Alright.
Here's our worst movies
Fuck
of the
it,
year.
we're winging it.
Okay, how easy was it to do yours this year?
There's a couple that I felt like, well, my number one was pretty easy.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna lie, my number one was easy.
I think that the number one for all of us is probably really easy.
I'm sure. The rest were somewhat difficult for me. I wasn't really. There's a few that I wasn't really sure in what order to put it, so
Yeah.
I just kind of.
Screw it.
Fuck
This
it.
is what I'm feeling right now.
This is what I'm feeling at the moment. About 2 minutes before we hit the record button.
I did mine the other day, and honestly, mine did not take that long at all, like, even ordering them. I saw a lot of bad movies this year. I saw so many bad movies this year that Blended is not on my list.
That's impressive.
Million Ways to Die in the West is not on my list. That's how many really bad movies I saw this year. You want to go first? Number 10?
My number 10 is Annie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Oh man, we're gonna get more hate mail.
You know, I hope so. You know, typing illiterate fuck. But, yeah, I wasn't really sure where to put Annie. Like, I don't like the musical Annie. I just don't care. I don't care about Little Orphan Annie. I never have. I don't think I ever will.
Did the audience make that go lower on your list, or is it because of the audience that it is on your list?
It's because of the audience it is on my list.
Or because you saw it by yourself.
Yeah, I got peoples on that one.
I forgot you saw that by yourself.
Yeah, I saw that by myself with that large black woman cackling at the afro-headed white boy a few rows below them. What's that white boy doing here? Man, I'm on the clock, lady. Fuck.
My number 10, even though I would rather watch this a million times more than I would rather watch something like Blended or A Million Ways to Die in the West or even some of the more mediocre movies I saw this year, this movie is at number 10 only for objective reasons. Number 10 is The Identical. By hands down, the most watchable movie that's on this list. Normally, in any other year, I might not have put this on here because it was a funny movie. It was, unintentionally funny.
It was.
I mean, like, Winter's Tale's not on my list, and I thought that was pretty funny, but at least that was way more well-made than The Identical. But because of some other stuff that pop up later on this list, I guess I have to be a little more objective this year. And The Identical is a shit-made movie. It's horribly acted, it's horribly made, it makes all the wrong decisions you would ever want to do when making any kind of, I guess, pseudo-serious movie like this. In terms of casting, it's a fucking 40-year-old man playing an 18-year-old.
I'm sorry, Daddy.
I'm sorry, Daddy.
I won't go out and do it again, Daddy.
And they couldn't get the rights to call him Elvis, but this is a parallel universe where apparently Elvis does still exist.
Elvis still exists. His brother is the greatest impersonator of Elvis of all time. So that makes him the greatest impersonator of an impersonator.
Of a fucking impersonator.
Of all time.
And the music is all like if Elvis still existed and made music in the 90s along with like the Counting Crows or something like that, but it still takes place in the 60s. It's shockingly bad, but it's watchably bad.
You sure is.
And I feel bad for putting it on my list, but it really is, by technical terms.
I don't feel so bad.
It is one of the worst of the year.
Don't feel so bad, it made mine.
Is it your number 9?
My number 9 is As Above, So Below. That experience at that movie theater fucking sucked.
Oh, that was when the
power kept going out.
Oh.
I had it like... when they finally restored the power, when Brian and I finally went in there, they're like, we can start it over from the beginning. No, you fucking can't! No, you won't! No, you fucking won't! I will tell you where the fuck this shit stopped! Let's go!
They did that to me at Ninja Turtles. They did that at when the game stands tall.
Yeah.
You don't have to stop
You don't
it.
have to. No, I don't. No, please, God, don't.
And you guys is like that happened to you guys like about half, maybe like a little early on into that. When that happened during me and Dave's movie that same night, we were at the November Man. It was at the last minute of the movie. Wow, totally worth it. That was a bad night all around. At least me and Dave's movie was just mediocre.
You should start theirs again. But besides that theater experience, that movie on the whole was one of the one where they were in the French catacombs and oof, that was stupid. That was just levels of stupid. There was nothing worse. I'm sorry, there was nothing worth getting frightened over. They didn't really feel like there was no real danger.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a fuck. Mm-hmm. All the typical jump scare tropes or tripes, whatever the fuck that word is.
Yeah.
That shit's in it too. Just, ugh.
Well, at least we didn't get the pyramid. I mean, wait, we did, but it was like 3 weeks after its premiere.
Man, I missed the pyramid. Shucks.
You know what? I'm kind of sad I missed that. No, it's not. I heard some reviews on it. It is not mummies that's chasing them. I'm not even kidding you. It's like hairless feral cats.
You have got to be
I'm
fucking
dead
kidding.
serious, man.
You couldn't even done mummies?
But doesn't that kind of make you want to see it? Like little hairless Lloyds chasing him in a pyramid. Oh, they just want some attention.
They just want some loving.
My number 9 is Legends of Oz.
Oh shit!
Oh no! Did you forget? I'll just make it tie.
No, don't worry. I'll put it in there.
Just make it tie with something. Legends of Oz sucked, and I was remembering it more so because we had that re-release of Wizard of Oz last week. This was, I mean, not only did the movie look and feel like you should have been watching this in like 93 or 94, maybe even earlier than that because of its original Bryan Adams soundtrack.
Yeah. But
even back then, this movie would have sucked. This isn't like, oh, you know, I probably would have liked this if I was 13. No. Nothing about this, same with something like The Identical, nothing about this movie felt like you should have been watching it in the theater. It's insane that this was released. Mainstream audiences, like 1,000, 2,000 fucking theaters. Like, that's fucking crazy in what should totally be a direct-to-video movie that you just get your kids because you see it for $5 at the checkout aisle. And even then, it would have been really, really, really bad.
Even then, it would have been like one of those where you're like, all right, here, kid, you want $5, whatever. Like, after, like, the second time they're watching it, you were wanting to shoot yourself in the face. That's a bad decision.
It did give us, the only good thing was, it did give us Noble Mouse King. So there is that.
Oh, hell, Noble Mouse King.
One of the most memorable characters of the year. Does not have one single fucking line of dialogue, but he's the Noble Mouse King. Also really fucked up shit, too. Like, the China Queen or whatever murdering, like, people by screaming and shattering them to death. Fucking great. This movie sucked.
This movie's bad.
What you got at number 8?
Identical.
You put it higher than mine.
I did.
Than on mine. But you know what I mean, though? Wouldn't you rather watch that?
I would much rather watch Identical than every single one of these movies on my list. Which, I didn't really want to put it in there, because I had fun when I was watching it. But exactly what you said, I gotta look at it objectively. And
yeah. It makes me wish I saw, like, 8 or 9 more movies like that so I could have a separate list of the best bad movies of the year.
Oh, I know, right?
Because that would have
been number 1. This movie was fantastic.
That would have easily been up there.
But, I mean, it's exactly what you said. It's so bad.
It's shockingly bad.
It's shockingly, hilariously bad.
it is the kind of bad movie that you're glad that you're there to see this in the theater, to witness this.
That movie immediately bred like a cult. It had a cult feel to it as soon as... Instantly. Like when we were watching, like, what the hell? Why can't I stop watching this? This is hilarious. Why are there 3 Elvises? What the fuck? Who died? So, wait, there was almost 4 Elvises?
Drexel died in a plane crash. I remember that.
Yeah, Drexel died in a plane crash.
And the dad was blind at the end. And fuck, I need to see this movie again.
I know.
Why wasn't this on my best movies of the year list?
You didn't even ask me for that, you prick. You only asked me to come over here and it's like, hey, you want to do the worst stuff? I'm still waiting for that text where, hey, do you want to do the best stuff? Oh, dude, I shot that 2 weeks ago.
Jake's best stuff. I watched these on my own, motherfucker.
I watched these on my own, you pricks.
My number 8 is fucking Left Behind. Speaking of movies that should not be in theaters, this movie, as a diehard Nicolas Cage fan, I've thought about it, and I've thought about it, and I've thought about it. This has got to be his worst movie.
Woo!
His worst movie.
That's saying something.
Oh, yeah. He is... Nicolas Cage, he is the kind of actor that when Nicolas Cage makes great movies even greater, and he makes bad movies watchable. Like, Wicker Man would be unwatchable without Nicolas Cage. There's some other movies I could think of that would...
I like Con Air.
Con Air has the magic of Cage, Malkovich, Buscemi, like a who's who of people who make movies totally watchable.
I know.
This movie, man, it was obviously he is in this because he has at the time, I don't know about now, but had severe money problems and had to say yes to a bunch of shit. It is so sad that he had to say yes to this, and it's even sadder when you can tell that he did not want to say yes to this. Like, you see it on the screen. He is just sad. Like, the spark that Nicolas Cage has when he makes bad movies really fun and just has the time of his life with it is not there. Like, even as a Rapture movie, this is barely even that. It is just simply, it's a cheap airport movie. It's like, that just happens to involve the Rapture. Like, that's it. That's all this movie is. It is the least ambitious Rapture movie I've ever seen. I've seen Asylum Rapture movies that are way more ambitious than this. So, fuck Left Behind.
Well, I have to add a little hash to this, but Planes 2 /
Legends of Oz. Yeah, okay, goddammit, what other kids' movies?
Oh, yeah, no, as soon as I looked at it, I was like, the other one that looked like it should have been a direct-to-fucking-DVD movie that I saw on the big screen. God damn, Planes 2 was fucking stupid.
I don't know, the other guy in the theater kind of liked it.
Dude, he had a goddamn blast.
Planes 2 was... It's not on my list, but that was... Ugh. That was... I'll say this about Planes 2. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be. Well, maybe not. I mean, like, it was a little... Some of the crash sequences were a little more intense than I thought they would be.
Yeah, I mean, there was that lightning scene that kind of got intense when they were in that, that storm cloud and they couldn't hear over the shit.
Uh-huh.
Like, that got intense, but it still looked like shit.
But Boat Reynolds.
Yeah, there's Boat Reynolds. Motherfucking Boat Reynolds.
And the best little boathouse in Texas.
These are the worst goddamn fucking puns. You're not even trying. What can we put boat in?
And I like the idea that there would be like a 3-year-old kid in the audience who would hear that pun and then go like, oh, like best little whorehouse in Texas.
Oh, like best little whorehouse in Texas. I got you. Damn, kid. Alright, well, I gotta respect the classics, but fuck. How do you know that?
Planes 2 sucked. The only thing that was carrying me through that movie was I was like, well, at least I get to see The Purge 2 later. At least I just get to see nonstop mayhem and violence after sitting through Planes 2.
Oh yeah, I forgot about The Purge 2.
Purge 2, way better than Planes 2.
Yeah, unfortunately, but still. shoot the wasps. That's not fair. That's just not fair.
He did when they did like the most dangerous games section, where the trailer made that look like it was gonna be like half the movie. It's like, oh shit, no, he took care of that in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was like 15 minutes. Alright, you know what? Everybody stay down. I'm tired of dicking around with these stupid white people. Bang, 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 bang. You're all dead. Let's go. Well done. Well done.
And Purge 2, way more fun to talk about apparently than Planes 2.
Yeah, way more fun.
I don't think you saw this, I've got as my number 7, Endless Love.
I didn't see that.
I think a lot of people will probably expect that movie to be higher on my list because of all the stuff that I saw this year. I think that one probably made me rage the most. Or not so much rage necessarily, but more like you during That's My Boy, where less rage and more, maybe I'll just quit.
Alright, I've been there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm done.
But I can't, the reason why it's not higher is because I'm certainly coming at that movie from somebody who knows the book very well and really digs that book. And that movie, hands down, one of the worst adaptations I've ever seen. Like, it would be like if the movie While You Were Sleeping was an adaptation of Misery. Like, that's how really horribly they take this movie. If I didn't know the book and kind of just went into it not even knowing that it was based on a book, yeah, it would be really bad. It would be like every trope of every Nick Sparks thing ever. So basically you have a stereotype of something that's not even that good to begin with. That would kind of be what that movie is. It would probably make my worst list if I didn't know the book, but the fact that I did, oh my god. Like, a key difference here, like, the book, the kid is fucking crazy as shit in the book. It's a book totally about obsession. At one point, to, like, impress the girl, he, like, sets her house on fire so he can save her. In the movie, it's like this big heroic moment where it's the girl's asshole dad who accidentally sets the house on fire, and then the kid comes in at the end and saves everyone. It's awful. It's so fucking horrible. Like, I'm getting madder even talking about it. Maybe I should have put it higher.
All right, calm down, Skeeter.
What's your number 6?
Left Behind.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's, like, man, I forgot about that. I also forgot about Oz that I saw. Mm-hmm. Because as I was making that, like, right before we started shooting this, I was like, hey, Brad, what the hell was Left Behind? That was a Nick Cage. Fuck! Fuck!
Nick Cage, Rapture.
That's right. Stupid, terrible-ass plane movie with... Oh, that was just depressing to watch. That was terrible.
It wasn't even fun to sit through.
Man, that hurt.
Yeah.
Like, I will not claim I'm the biggest Nick Cage fan on the planet, especially compared to you. Got nothing against the man. I'm just saying, I don't think he's all that great. But with that being said, oof. like what you said, like, I've seen some legitimately bad movies with Nick Cage in it, and I couldn't help but laugh because he was over the top in it. So I find enjoyment in it. So based on that, Mayor, there was this was hard to watch. This was like, ooh, no. Mm-hmm. This is one you should have said no to. This is like a terrible, disconnected, Christian-y family, and it turns out crazy mom that's Bible thumping is right, so she's gone up to heaven, and her heathen ass family is left behind. And it was basically like reconnecting with daughter in Terrible Airplane featuring Rapture.
Yeah, featuring a cameo by
featuring
Rapture.
Like guest appearance Rapture.
And if you didn't know people were religious in this movie, which one you should because they've been raptured. Yeah. But even if you didn't, they're looking through people's date planner and it's like Bible study.
Bible study.
Like, okay.
Like that steward.
Oh, thank you.
Fucking cross. Yeah, I get it. I know why they're gone, dude.
And fucking that movie did though. I just remembered it. believe that has the record for the longest midnight screening. I think we hit like an hour.
Oh, we hit
like
an hour and 9 minutes.
Yeah.
We went on forever.
There was a lot to talk about.
That was also one of the shortest ones with Ryan.
With 12 minutes?
Yeah.
I love that. 12 minutes and half of it is trailers.
I know, dude.
For
like
Paddington.
Hey, you know what? Paddington's pretty good. Here are the trailers. That looks good.
Deuce, thumbs up. Me and Dave's was like 23 minutes that night. And then Brian and Sarah's on the wedding ringer was like 50 minutes.
Oh, damn.
They won. Number 6, Think Like a Man 2. Not even God wanted us to see this movie. It was a huge lightning storm that night when we were reviewing that. We had to drive the car under the awning because I kept thinking it was going to crash through the fucking window to fucking zap the camera and fry our asses. That would have been the best thing that happened to us that night. Think Like a Man 2 is like... It's like watching a theatrical version of Zack and Kelly's Vegas wedding from Saved by the Bell. It's like watching an epilogue to a show that you never watched. And it has everything that you would expect to happen in something like that happens in this movie. There's a misunderstanding with the bill on the room, so they owe a lot of money, and they enter a strip competition in order to do it. There's the womanizing guy who's with his girlfriend, and she keeps hearing about how he was such a player. And oh my god, the wedding gets postponed at the end, but then there's the magical Jeeves butler who says, well, now maybe we should just do it outside. Okay. It's that for a really, really, really long time. Like, I went into this movie really not expecting anything one way or the other. I kind of thought it would be like this year's, like, Best Man Holiday. But, wow, this was shockingly hard to sit through. I was sitting there just confused and perplexed while watching it. Dave was sitting there just like he's gonna beat someone. 20 minutes into this, we both slowly looked at each other, and I got it out before him. I was like, this movie sucks! Like, out loud in the theater, and there wasn't, I don't think anyone heard us, but the movie is so thin that there's a music video halfway into it. Oof. Like, all the girls at their, their bachelorette party, they just start going into a music video of That Girl Is Poison, and, like, I'm talking, like, fisheye lens, punching towards the backwards hat, punching towards the camera. At the end of the scene, there is even a music video credit on the bottom of it to say who directed the scene.
Oh, wow.
It was... The fact that it is only number 6 on my list is the most surprising thing about that movie.
Number 5 was Draft Day. The most boring... What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? I gotta sit here for an entire hour and a half length movie featuring the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Like, I give 2 flying fucks who gets picked the fuck up. Mm-hmm. It's only a big deal for, like, maybe a grand total of a few months, because then there's all this hype about, oh, this and that, and this is the hot rookie, and blah, 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 and then the preseason happens, half of them get fucking broke, so, okay, there goes that fucking angle, and then the ones that do get through usually are like, game 1, game 2, wow, a lot of you suck. And then all of it disappears into maybe one person who stood out. I mean, recently there's been a few exceptions, but that's basically what happens in the NFL. It's like this big hullabaloo, and then jack fucking shit happens. So now I gotta watch a movie like I give 2 fucks who's getting picked the fuck up by the Cleveland Browns of all fucking people. Like, it would flash over to the, like, hey, where's Seattle? Seattle! God, dude, I know where we're at. The big-ass needle took it off, dude!
Are you just mad because you got this movie in your fantasy movie review league?
Yeah, dude, I had this as my starting quarterback, bro. It's like, Draft Day is going to be where it's at. Best sports movie of the year. You fell flat on me!
I completely forgot that this movie existed until because I sent you a list of all the bad movies that you saw. Like, Draft Day? What the fuck was... Oh!
Yeah, it's a stupid-ass NFL movie.
But was Dennis Leary good in it?
No.
What? Okay, fuck it. If Dennis Leary's not good in this movie, I'm putting it on my fucking list, and I've never even seen it. I'm gonna pull a Hadley.
No, it's just he's Dennis Leary in it, but you can tell even he just doesn't give a fuck. Even by Dennis Leary's not giving a fuck standards, he doesn't give a fuck.
Oh, compared to, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Ghost disapproving Dennis Leary would show up.
Oh, I love Ghost disapproving Dennis Leary. That was my favorite character in that entire thing.
Fucking mine, too. That movie's probably not on my list just because of Ghost disapproving Dennis Leary.
I forgot that I saw that, too.
My number 5... My number 5 is Haunted House 2.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you saw that.
I had to see that the same night that I saw fucking Transcendence. That was a horrible fucking night. Transcendence was a piece of shit, but at least it was ambitious. Haunted House 2, God no. Probably the least ambitious movie I've seen all year. The only enjoyment that I got out of Haunted House 2, well, two things. One, Gabriel Iglesias was at least trying. I saw the movie with Jillian, and we saw both that and Transcendence that night. And Jill, as miserable as I was during Haunted House 2, I don't know if I was really getting that mad necessarily, because, dear God, was it exactly what I thought it was going to be. But Jillian, on the other hand, was getting very mad throughout the movie. There's a 5-minute scene in this movie of Marlon Wayans fucking the Annabelle doll. It goes on for 5 minutes. It comes out of fucking nowhere. Just suddenly the Annabelle doll's there, and suddenly he's having sex with it for 5 minutes. And I'm talking tossing salad, all that shit, water sports, everything is... Yeah, it's like this for 5 minutes, and Jillian is just wanting to leave so bad during this scene. I could see her out of the corner of my eye, she's going, we could leave. We could fucking leave. I'm like, no, maybe it'll get better.
God, I swear to God, dude, every time you do that to me, I want to punch you in the face. If you were my friend, I would have punched you in the face so many times. Hey, look,
man.
It could get better.
You gotta be an optimist, man. Come on.
Dude.
You gotta find your zen. Maybe it goes up from the scene where he's having sex with the doll.
Was it because she wasn't into water sports, or?
Oh, she is. Oh, we're talking about Knight's Action Park water slides, right? Because it is fun to go down those slides.
No, it
isn't.
Pee
in them.
All but one of those slides. That slide is not fun to go down. Nor is the toilet bowl, you lying motherfucker.
Oh, that one's great.
Dude, every time I go on that, it's just
You just gotta... Oh.
Plop.
Well, you just gotta make sure not to land on your gooch. It's
not the gooch that I land on, it's the flat of my back.
Your back
on the heated metal that is not touching water. So I literally, every time hit, plunk, ow, bloop.
Alright, look, here's what you do. You do like in the cartoons, and you belt one of those big ice blocks to your back. Like they did in the old time days to go sledding in the summer.
This is happening. Whee!
The remaining thing I can say about Haunted House 2 is just stay home and watch the Richard Pryor is scared for no reason sketch from In Living Color. It's 1.5 minutes long. It's 1,000,000 times funnier than Haunted House 2. Just watch that sketch. Just watch it right now. The sketch is amazing.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll give you time. My number 4 was Ouija.
Ouija?
Ouija? Ouija board. Get that dang old Ouija board out of here.
That movie sucks.
That movie was so fucking stupid. That had me mad. Wasn't that the one where her fucking dead friend could have just saved it at the very beginning? Couldn't she just walk up and be like, hey, you see that big scary bitch? She's the one who's trying to kill you. Ghost out, be like, okay, well, I'm not fucking with this no more.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
You remember more of it than I
that's what pissed me off about it. This movie could have been done the first little seance shit that they did.
Yeah.
It'd be like, oh, hey, that big scary lady's the bad guy. Mm-hmm. Do something to get rid of that.
Yeah.
Here's what you do. Okay, thanks. You go and do it. One love. And then fucking movie over. 5 minutes. Yeah. This is this creepy thing that happened to me once, but I took care of it.
There are so many really great horror movies that revolve around Ouija boards that, one, it kind of makes this movie not necessary, and two, stay home and watch The Exorcist.
Right?
Hell, one of those Slumber Party Massacre movies had a Ouija board in it. Stay home and watch that.
I mean, like, really, in this day and age, what the fuck is the Ouija board doing here? Like, why is it made it? This is its big debut movie?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
You really missed the mark, Ouija board. You should have done that years ago.
It's exactly what you think it is. It's a movie catered to 12-year-olds, and it's, dear God, is it PG-13?
God,
it's catered to the audience of junior high kids are going to go there on a date, and the girl is going to scream every 5 seconds because of a jump scare.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It sucks.
You get your 12-year-old jollies off because she'll hold your hand. There you go.
Yeah, it was this year's Paranormal Activity 4.
Fuck! Stupid-ass movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ouija didn't make mine, but number 4 on mine is Tyler Perry's Single Moms Club.
Oh, you didn't like that?
No. I watched this movie, and I'd seen clips of his stuff here and there, like scenes, and this is the first one that I watched full on beginning to end. And it was me and Sarah, and we went to it because Dave and Brian had all the other Tyler Perry movies, so we were like, yeah, okay, well, this year we'll go to the Tyler Perry movies. Thank God there was only one. But when I got like about 20 minutes into this fucking movie, I was sitting there like, this is what I've been sending them to see? Oh my God, I'm a monster. It really was one of the, I was expecting it to be bad, yeah. But in terms of just sheer filmmaking, I was not expecting his skills as a director to be the modern equivalent of, like, Coleman Francis. Or, like, the directing style you would see, yeah, like the directing style you'd see in, like, Red Zone Cuba, The Skydivers, shit like that.
Okay.
Like, stuff you'd see on Mystery Science Theater. Because this movie is so poorly shot, it is so poorly edited, that at times I didn't know if characters were in the room or if they weren't. There's one part where it's it's the girl sitting there talking to her boss, and she's the stuck-up girl, like the snooty, like kind of rich, suburban girl, and her name in the movie is Jan Malkovich. And so she's sitting there talking to her boss, and so angle the boss, angle the girl. Okay, fine. What I didn't realize is that towards the end of the scene, it goes into a wider shot, and you find out that this has been a boardroom meeting the entire time with about 12 other people in this room. Shit like that happens throughout this movie. There is a girl... There's one scene where you can tell that none of the actresses were there at the same time, so they're all shot individually and spliced together. Which, fine, that happens a lot. You just cover it up with editing and whatnot. This didn't. This was person, 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 person. With not even an attempt to kind of covering it up with, like, overlaying audio or anything like that. And there's a part where there's a girl sitting at the bar talking to her ex-husband. Her boyfriend is the bartender. And so they're talking, and then it just cuts to a reaction shot of the bartender, but with no audio laid over it, so it just sounds like there's this awkward break in the conversation just to cut to the bartender. And then later on, they're driving in a car, and I just thought there were like 3 people in the car, because it was kind of the midnight screenings angle.
Okay.
So, passenger seat, driver's seat, person sitting in the middle in the back. Alright. And then partway through the scene, it just cuts to where there's 5 people in the car. The other 2 were sitting behind the driver's seat and the passenger seat. You just didn't know that until it randomly cut to them with a line, and it scared the shit out of me. This movie was really scary. But Terry Crews was good in it. There was that.
God bless Terry Crews.
There was that, but it's Tyler Perry, so the movie was like, victimized women more than most exploitation movies that I've seen that do that kind of thing. It got severely awkward. Like, even in the romantic parts, it was like, even for me, it was wildly misogynistic. But they did involve Tyler Perry, Terry Crews, sorry. No offense to Terry Crews.
Sorry, Mr. Crews.
So at least Terry Crews was kind of funny in it.
Number 3, Expendables 3. Man, fuck that movie. Wow, that was bad. Mm-hmm. That was bad. That was the Wesley Snipes being in this hardcore train prison
for tax
evasion.
Get it?
That's why you haven't seen him around in a while.
Because he
evaded his taxes. Oh my god.
Drummers in the house.
Oh boy, God damn it.
He's not here.
I'm sorry.
He's not in the picture anymore. Because Bruce Willis isn't in the movie anymore.
Isn't in the movie.
Yeah,
that's stupid. Yeah. Just way too obvious with the jokes, way too in-universe with it.
Way more so than the other ones were.
Yeah, a lot more than the other ones, because the other ones, at least I can understand the tongue-in-cheekness of it. This one, there was no tongue-in-cheek. It was just...
Meme.
Yeah.
That was
all over the place. Meme, explosion, meme, stab. Or PG-13 stab, wasn't it?
Off-screen stabs.
Off-screen PG-13. Oh, god damn.
It's not on my list, but that movie sucked. I sat there like, why am I not enjoying this? I should be enjoying this.
But
why am I not enjoying this?
This is not working. Everything about this is not working.
Stallone should not do PG-13 action. The movie isn't even theatrically it's PG-13, but this is not shot as a PG-13.
It's not shot as a PG-13. You can tell by the cat motions of Wesley Snipes with his knife and the guy going, ah.
Yeah, we just watched an edited for television movie in the theater.
Fuck!
And it was so poorly, even beyond that, it was so poorly choreographed that even beyond the blood and stuff that's getting cut out, I could not make heads or tails what the fuck was going on in this movie.
No. Just so much chaos and no organization. It was just terrible.
It made us be really lenient towards The Giver.
Yeah,
which was later that night, which wasn't very good, but... Oh, we just saw Expendables 3.
So, hey, you know what? It's not Expendables 3.
At least I can tell what's going on in this movie.
Yeah, I definitely can tell what's going on in this movie.
Yeah, no, if they do another Expendables movie, I really hope they get their shit together. I do. A director who can actually choreograph action, tone it down on the fucking references, and... If you're gonna make it R, don't do CGI blood, please. As much as I like the previous two movies, oh god, the CGI blood is a thorn in those movies' fucking side. Ugh. No, I'm with you. I really did not like that movie either. It's not on mine, but if I did a bottom 20, it would be on there. My number 3 is Mom's Night Out. This will be the last time I need to look at my phone, because I know what my other two are. Mom's Night Out was single-handedly one of the most awkward movies that I sat through this year. It's... You know what? All the religious movies that came out this year is the best friend of stuff like Expendables 3. Because if it weren't for the several...
You got a good point. If it wasn't for the several extremely terrible religious movies that came out this year.
Yeah. And I saw most of them, so half of them are those movies. Yeah. If that wasn't on there, Expendables 3 would probably be on this list. Mom's Night Out was... I probably got the most mad at that. It's a movie that does not in any way, shape, or form understand what severe anxiety disorders are, or depression, depression post, giving birth to a child among the other kids that you have. Because here's a movie about a woman who is going through severe anxiety. Like, it's really awkward to watch. And it's really awkward because it's played for laughs, but it's acted seriously. It's acted very serious. Like, yeah, it's a comedy, and it's presented as a comedy with hijinks music in the background. The audience that we saw it with was laughing at it, and... Like, I know a lot of, like, I know people close to me who have gone through a lot of the same stuff that this woman is going through in this movie. And to be in the theater while that's treated like this was really unsettling. And no one says to this woman, like, you really need to see a psychiatrist. Like, it gets really severe. It gets so severe that she's like, she has what's called, like, what does she call it in the movie? Like, stress paralysis. She straight up calls it that in the movie, to where she's like in a ball on the bathroom floor, like shaking and crying, and she has a blog where she goes on these very tangent-filled things because she's very manic. So there's obviously some issues there with this person, but it's treated as, oh, girl, you just need a night on the town. I'm not even kidding. It's treated like...
That's really uncomfortable.
Dear God, was it ever uncomfortable?
Girl, you just need a lot of medication.
No one says to this person, like, you really need to talk to somebody. You need
help.
You really need help. No, it is, you just need a night on the town. Like, get yourself a fancy dress, go out to a nice restaurant, in which they get to the restaurant, and she has an episode because they got her reservation wrong. And that was, again, really awkward. And this is all, it all turns happy at the end, because... Okay, you remember the scene at the end of Ferris Bueller's Day Off where Charlie Sheen was in the police station talking to Jennifer Grey, and he, like, gave her, like, wise advice and stuff like that? Imagine that! But if instead of Charlie Sheen, it was Trace Adkins, country superstar, telling her that she just needs Jesus.
God damn it. A big old spoonful of Jesus in your mouth is not the same as taking medication because your brain chemistry is all out of fucking whack.
Yeah.
God damn it. No, you don't just need 2 cupfuls of Jesus in the morning to start your fucking day right.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go see a doctor.
Yeah.
And get on some kind of medication. Get some help. Talk to a professional who actually be able to help you, not country superstar Trace Adkins. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Would you like me to sing you a song about Jesus?
Oh my God. You know what, if this movie ended with, like, a Trace Adkins musical number, at least that would have distracted me from the other shit that was pissing me off. At least I could get mad about this now.
I get mad at this for a second instead of just being genuinely uncomfortable and upset.
Oh, was it Trace Adkins or was it?
Who gives a fuck? They all sound the same. Twangy ass assholes.
Now I'm confused. Was it Trace Adkins or was it, like, fucking booting your ass courtesy of the Toby
Keith?
I think it was Trace Adkins.
Toby Keith.
I think it was Trace Adkins because otherwise
superstar Trace Adkins.
Otherwise I'd be like, well, at least he has a mighty fine restaurant.
Mighty fine restaurant
with some good red, white, and blue nachos. Of all the religious movies I saw this year, this one was the most uncomfortable to sit through. Probably even more so than the next one that's on my list, even though I think the next one was probably more offensive. This one, for personal reasons, was very uncomfortable to sit through. Number 2.
My number 2 is a movie that I saw around Christmas time with you people. After I got our Secret Santa gift from you.
Oh!
Yeah, the
At first I was like, the hamburger? Oh, I forgot there was movie money in there.
Yeah, there was movie money in there. Underneath the quarter pounder that was inside of the Big Mac box that was wrapped in tin foil.
Hey, that was a present with layers, my friend. Big Mac, thanks. Open it up.
Open it up.
Psych! Quarter pounder. Open it up. Movie money!
I was expecting, like, a tiny cheeseburger under that. And then I open up the tiny cheeseburger and it's like, there's a quarter. Man, you're a dick! Well played, sir. Well played. No, it was A Winter's Tale.
Yeah. Oh.
No. Aw. That movie was fucking stupid.
But you were mesmerized.
I was genuinely mesmerized by that movie because I was trying so hard to figure out what the fuck is going on. And then what felt like an eternity later, the movie ended with me going, did I just get Twin Peaks? Like, what the fuck just happened? No, I don't want to watch it again.
I'll see all the answers.
Oh, no, yeah. And then I got my fucking hipster-ass friends who are like, I don't know, you just need to watch it again. It's like Twin Peaks.
I know what to get you next Christmas. The book. Then you'll know the answers.
Oh, now I'll know. Now I'll understand. Horse! Hello, my friend. It is I, Celestial Horse, here to help you get laid.
Damn, he found the horse.
He found the horse.
Oh my god, it's the redhead we were looking for.
Yes, I am here. I have brought you to your pussy. May you tame said pussy. I shall disappear into the night sky. When you need me, when whatever era he was in and whatever fucking stupid weird shit started happening after that.
110-year-old
110-year-old, yeah. I have come back to help you get old strange. Welcome! Fuck. Why is the horse here? Why does he have wings? What does Pegasus have to do with... This movie is stupid.
You gotta admit, though, one of the most unpredictable films of the year.
No, it was the most unpredictable film of the year.
Predestination might be my most unpredictable movie of the year, but... it's a toss-up, man. Like, that's a toss. Like, because Sarah and I saw it in the theater, and we saw it because we heard it was so batshit. And wow, were they not kidding? Like, I think in the first 15 minutes, like, no, even earlier than that, it was when Russell Crowe goes, "Damn, he found the horse," and I'm just in the theater. We're the only ones in there, and I'm in there like, what the fuck is happening? Just like out loud, and then like at the end of the movie, I'm like, what is that all about?
What the fuck just happened? Why am I still here? What the hell? What just wasted my time for what felt like 8 hours?
Oh, I didn't think it was a waste of time.
Oh, dude, I did. I did. I was so irritated at all of you by the time that thing was done. Like, I just want to go home.
I relished.
I was so sick of seeing every last one of you.
I
want to watch Celestial Horse.
Every moment, man.
This is stupid.
From Satan, Will Smith's Satan with Jimi Hendrix shirt. The gangsters in modern day still with the bowler hats. And,
God,
yeah.
that was so stupid.
Oh, that's so good.
No, it wasn't good. That was not good. It was fucking god awful. I am so glad I didn't see that in the theater.
It's not on my list. I mean, dear God, am I not going to argue that that's objectively a terrible film? It's not on my list, even though I do get, dear God, did I get enjoyment out of that movie. I thought that movie was fucking hilarious. But it isn't on my list. I mean, I really didn't have room for it, but also, I mean, compared to, like, The Identical, which is another movie that I thought was very funny, this was at least more well-made than The Identical. I mean, this had... the acting, some of it was okay. Okay, at least. I mean, at least it had better actors than the lead in The Identical. This at least looked like a movie. But it was, oh yeah, it was.
It looked like a movie and then just shat out a bunch of crap.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Fuck.
Polishing a turd, man.
It's still a fucking turd. God.
But maybe at one point it was delicious caviar. I don't know.
Fuck does that have to do with the current piece of shit?
I don't even know why I said that. I've never had caviar.
It's not that delicious.
Really?
Yeah, rich people don't have it right, dude.
Not even James Bond?
Not even James Bond, bro.
Oh, fuck that. I don't believe you.
Well, you cannot believe me all you want. I have tasted the fine, incredibly salty, gross taste of caviar.
Maybe you didn't get it from Beluga, north of the Caspian.
No, I don't know where it came from. I truly don't.
You had the caviar.
I did. Hey, McDonald's.
Are you listening?
Make this happen.
My number 2 is, I really struggled with what I wanted to have as number 1, because it was either going to be this or it was going to be what is my number 1. My number 2 is God's Not Dead. Hands down, the most offensive movie of the year. It is horribly made. I mean, it's as well made as, like, the fucking Identical, or, you know, something else that I shouldn't be seeing in the theater. For all I know, they're made by the same fucking people. I don't fucking know. Or ghost directed by the same person, because it, again, looks like, oh, this is what a grandma gives to her kid if she thinks the kid is religious. This movie it's like the Crash of Bible movies. It's a bunch of different stories going on at the same time. But the theme of this movie is that if you are not hardcore Christian, then you are a verbally abusive son of a bitch who just verbally abuses his girlfriend. You are like the stereotypical, like, liberal blogger who drives around with a coexist bumper sticker, but she finds Jesus because she gets cancer, and then her lawyer boyfriend dumps her. Again, he's not religious, so that just means he's a terrible person. He says that when she tells him, he says he's gotten a promotion, she tells him, I found out I have cancer. And then he goes, ugh, that couldn't have waited until tomorrow. There's a Muslim family in this.
Sorry, that is an oppressively dickish comment.
It was Dean Cain who said it,
That
too.
makes me laugh every single time you say that.
It was Dean Cain who said it, too. And then later, you're supposed to have sympathy for him because his mom is dying. It's like, fuck you.
Fuck you, you're an asshole.
Fuck off, man. The worst was, there's a Muslim family in the movie. So in this movie's general idea of that is the daughter of the Muslim family is a closet Christian. So she hides out in her closet and, like, reads her Bible, and then she listens to, like, hymns and stuff on her iPod, and then the dad finds out about it and proceeds to beat the shit out of her and throw her out of the house. That's the last you see of him. That is pretty much the end of that storyline, except things are made better because she goes to a Christian rock concert at the end and is jamming her ass off after getting the shit beat out of her by her dad and thrown out of the house because she's effectively homeless now.
Wow.
And you are like, the main plot was that, like, Kevin Sorbo, who actually is kind of amazing in the movie, he plays this atheist college professor, and there's a kid in the movie, he says, like, alright, introduction to philosophy, I want you to write down on a piece of paper that God's dead. And the kid is like, I'm not going to do that. I'm a Christian. He's like, okay, well, then I want you to get up here and prove that God's not dead or you fail. It's a straw man movie. It is a straw man movie. That's it. And it isn't so much that, like, the professor's atheist. Okay. But he physically like, grabs the student, is, like, screaming at him, is verbally abusive towards his wife. Like, it would be like if some atheist filmmaker put out a movie and its general view of Christians was a guy who's going to go blow up an abortion clinic. Like, that's this movie.
Yeah.
I'm not even an atheist, and I'm sitting there like, okay, this is a straw man movie. This movie is in no way, shape, or form trying to have any conversation about God, about religion, about atheism, any of that. This movie is just literally preaching to the choir of, if you are a religious person, if you are a Christian, great, you are aces. And if you are not, you are an abusive fucking son of a bitch who beats your children, who is just the biggest scum on the face of the fucking planet, and that's it. Just black and white, right there. Like, that's this movie. And it's number 2 on my list, even though... it's number 2 on my list, but... Fuck, but it is the most single-handedly the most offensive thing you would have seen in theaters this year. Alright, are we...
Really? We know what it is.
Yeah, should we both just talk about it? Because
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
It's the
same fucking thing. Let's just get into it. Number 1, Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas.
God damn, Kirk.
But one of the most enjoyable movies I've seen all year.
Oh, wow, that was so, wow. I mean, just speaking of, just of all the movies, which was a surprisingly high amount, animated and not, just all the movies this year that just visually did not look like they belonged on the big screen, like they're just lacking.
This movie didn't even look like a movie.
This one took the cake because it wasn't really a movie.
No.
This was like a Christian public service announcement that
And
made
a
no
bad one at
fucking
that.
sense. I mean, yeah, that was a terrible one.
Like, beyond, like, I mean, talk about straw man movies.
Yeah.
Talk about a straw man movie. This movie it's the Room 423 of fucking movies. It is the conspiracy theory, Alex Jones bullshit of fucking religious movies. That's it. It's Kirk Cameron spouting off insane crap for like 40 minutes, and the rest of it's just padding. For 40 minutes to the world's dumbest person who is just eating all of this shit up left and right.
Just
from trying to severely...
Just so, hey, buddy, why are you being a dick? I just want you to know that you're wrong. Everything you know is wrong.
What?
Yeah, you're fucking wrong, bro.
But,
no, shut up. You're wrong. I'm going to prove you what.
This is my house!
Nah, dude. Okay, you're wrong. You're wrong. This is not my house. You're wrong. This is God's house.
Whatever. I'm gonna fuck your sister.
Damn, bro. You're wrong. I'm going to fuck my sister.
Probably!
Yeah. This movie, this was...
This movie made me think, what if he is trolling us?
Right.
What if that is all that this has been?
Like, what if, like...
What if?
That would just be the greatest troll ever. Like, Andy Kaufman level of just fucking with everyone. Just come at me like, oh, no, man, I'm just fucking with all of you.
He would take the cake from even Andy Kaufman, I think, because this has been years in the making.
Has been years. Just...
No.
You have no argument, Kirk. There's nothing to what you're saying at all.
I want you to picture a cross. Whenever you see a tree,
anytime you see a
picture
tree,
a cross.
I want you to see a cross.
Naked, just like a fucking cross. Just like a cross, because, you know, they're both made of wood. And there's apples on the tree, which represent original sin, which Jesus was saving us from.
I still have never heard of the look at a tree and see a fucking cross.
I've never heard of anything in this movie. Not even like the presents look kind of like the skyline of the New Jerusalem.
What? They look like fucking presents, dude. The sky. Whoa,
dude.
Kurt,
Saint
what is
Nick
wrong with you?
Was bad.
Saint Nick
and
was
I
a
mean
bad motherfucker.
Bad.
He was a bad mother. Shut your mouth, Kurt.
I mean, like, think more Lord of the Rings.
Like,
if Lord of the Rings Gandalf beat the shit out of someone who didn't believe in Jesus.
Beat the fuck out of somebody who just had a differing opinion than him.
And then it cuts back to world's dumbest person, having his mind blown. Whoa, Santa was awesome. Fucking sliding into, like, the presents rap dance-off at the end with the Godtown Singers, whatever the fuck they're called.
Oh,
the most single-handedly most pro-gluttony, pro-greed, pro-consumerism movie, religious movie that I've ever seen in my life. Ever seen.
Everything that Christianity is supposed to be like, don't be... If you have a lot, give. Don't be an arrogant asshole. All those good, wholesome things that that Christianity is supposed to spout, this asshole shows up and he's like, no, keep all the money and keep all the food. And after you're done eating ham and you get full with it, shove it up your ass so the poor can't have it.
There's part of his message that I kind of get. If it wasn't a crazy person doing it with all of the weird shit, like everything links to like the cross and then the trees represent the cross, okay, beyond all that, take that shit out. Okay, you have a movie where it could be about a guy who's talking to his curmudgeon brother who basically wants to say like, hey look man, we're all just trying to have a good time. We're having a good time, it's not like moping is, okay, and all that. I'm just trying to cheer you up. Okay, you would have that. And then you could have, all right, the brother, Christian's argument, I forgot that's what the brother's name was. Christian's argument, but this stuff isn't in the Bible. This stuff isn't in, this comes from a pagan tradition. This comes from this, that, and that. Okay, I've seen videos that say the same thing. I've done episodes on DVDR Hell that kind of makes fun of that kind of thing. Yeah. I get it I sort of get the message here in the extent of okay, so some of that traces back to maybe something you don't necessarily believe in, but we're all a family here, we're exchanging presents, let's just look at it like that. But unfortunately, it's Kirk Cameron doing this movie, so it's not really about that. It's the most batshit way of trying to debunk actual pagan origins of a lot of this stuff.
Actual Christian origins.
To say hey, well, God created the winter solstice, so, dibs. What?
I hate that.
Oh my god, and because of this movie is pretty much why The Identical is on my list, because this movie, normally in the past, I've been what, if I get some enjoyment out of this, I won't put it on my list of the worst of the year.
Yeah.
But, I can't.
But it's Saving Christmas, I have to.
It is barely even a movie. It's arguably a movie. It is arguably a full-length movie. This is a 45-minute movie that's just padded. This movie was made solely because of greed, because they saw that the Christian movie boom was happening, and seriously wanted to get this in the last minute. And between that and all of the shit with him trying to up the vote on Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that, which The Identical tried doing the same thing too. Between all of that...
Come on, vote for us, please.
All right. At least The Identical be all right, fine.
All right, Identical.
10.
Woo!
Fuck
you, Saving Christmas.
But this movie, I can't in good conscience not say that this is not the worst movie of the year. Because objectively speaking, acting, characters, filmmaking... Everything about this is so subpar and amateurish and just not even laughably bad. I laughed.
All right,
I laughed my ass off.
There were several times where I laughed, but it was more like that. Where is our wholesome Christmas Christian film, bro?
I'll make one.
Let's do this.
I'll make a religious spoof movie.
No, not even spoof. Genuine. I want a genuine movie.
This is gonna be on South Park when they wanted to come up with their own Christian rock band.
I want this to be genuine. Do you understand how hilarious that would be?
Especially if we get it to star the atheists in our group.
All of them. Which is pretty much all of us.
Starring Dave and Brian. Oh man, but yeah, this was if you want to know more what we have to say about this movie, there's 3 videos worth of it.
3.
I guarantee you
movie's so bad, all of the regulars had to see it.
Yeah, and I guarantee you that this movie will probably be on their list too.
Yeah.
Because, again, objectively speaking, this is one of the worst movies I've seen in theaters in a decade. It is. Even beyond the stuff that I've put as number 1 in previous years.
Yeah.
Beyond that, like, Transformers 3 and whatever I put as number 1 last year. At least those are technically movies.
Yeah.
They are.
They are. They're bad, but they're movies.
Yeah, this isn't even that. It is just the insane ramblings of a conspiracy theorist, but it's advertised as a movie. It's not even advertised as the movie that it is. It's advertised as if it's supposed to be like this, this War on
movie.
Christmas, Jingle All the Way, but about the War on Christmas.
The War on Christmas, because of that explosion with him throwing candy canes and weird shit on the cover.
Oh, it's not that. If anything, this movie actually makes fun of the War on Christmas, which, okay, bravo for that. The War on Christmas is
kind of stupid.
Dumb, whatever. I'm actually glad that's not what this movie was about, because that would have made this miserable to sit through.
Superman.
At least what it is now, it kind of does make fun of that a little bit, which really made it even more confusing, because I know Kirk Cameron himself, is always on Fox talking about, a lot of things about the War on Christmas, or what those 2 guys at the party were talking about. So there was this weird moment of almost self-parody in the movie that made it very confusing, because I don't know why these characters are in it. It was weirdly ADR'd, and plus, that racial kind of gay stereotype of the black dude. Wow,
that was bad.
The biggest stereotype I've seen since Skids and Mudflap.
I know.
This is going back to Mantan Moreland. This is
overly effeminate.
Holy
gay
shit,
black man. Wow.
This is what Kirk Cameron thinks
Closeted
black people are.
I know. Just as all he appears to be this awkwardly closeted homosexual black guy
who compares Wild Shirt Friday or whatever it was to the March on Washington.
March on Washington.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, I think that's it. Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas. You knew it was going to happen. Yeah. Maybe. There were some people who thought that movie was going to turn up on my best list.
Why the fuck would they think that?
Probably because I sent everyone to it, and I technically did recommend it. I technically still do recommend it, but, in the same way, go see The Identical. In the same way of, for me anyway, go see Winter's Tale.
Man, I can't even recommend go see Winter's Tale.
Oh, I can.
You're gonna be mad at me.
I can. I totally can.
Of course you can, but you're an asshole.
I am. I'm an asshole. I gave so much money to Saving Christmas.
I know, dude. And not only was Saving Christmas technically quite possibly the worst movie I have seen, just in an all-around fashion.
Yeah.
It brought me fucking that terrible coffee that you made me drink, and then Mr. Sun. So I had to deal with this shit well after that movie.
Jake, it's your old friend, Mr. Sun.
God damn it, Mr. Sun, please go away.
I got a gander at your list. Sounds like someone needs a good 10 cups of some happy coffee.
I don't need 10 cups of happy coffee, Mr. Sun. Take your coffee and shove it up your ass. Stop bothering me, you big yellow bastard. I don't want your coffee. I don't want your happiness. I don't want your rays of goldenness. I want you to disappear.
So I take it decaf.
God damn it!
Alright, well, it's coming up probably when I get back from... tomorrow I'm leaving for MagFest. Well, okay, I'm posting this a few days from now, so I'm already in Washington at this point, but...
Dude, you're a wizard.
I'm a wizard. I'll be, as soon as I get back, we'll get together and do the Dave, Brian, and Sarah lists. So
I'm not invited.
Oh, you can still come.
We'll
see if our lists line up.
Fuck that guy.
Later.